The painful beauty of growth. A Jordan Peterson message: growth has never been a gentle process. It is raw, it is uncomfortable, and often it feels like you're being torn apart from the inside out. Yet there is a haunting, almost sacred beauty in this struggler beauty that Jordan Peterson, in his reflections on human suffering and transformation, speaks of with a profound sincerity that resonates with anyone who has ever been broken and rebuilt by life. Today, we'll explore why growth hurts, why it's necessary, and how you can embrace this painful journey to become the person you're meant to be. The illusion of comfort. Why growth demands pain. One of the most common traps we fall into as adults is the illusion of comfort. We design our lives to minimize discomfort. Stable jobs, predictable routines, familiar relationships. It feels safe, but as Jordan Peterson often warns, comfort is a deceitful friend. It lulls you into a sense of safety while quietly suffocating. Your potential growth, by its very nature, disrupts comfort. Why? Because every meaningful transformation requires you to shed the old version of yourself. And shedding, whether it's outdated beliefs, toxic habits, or even relationships that no longer serve you, as inherently painful. It's the death of who you were, to give birth to who you could be. Yet most people resist this. They prefer the security of the known, even if it means sacrificing who they might become. But here's the paradox. The more you cling to comfort, the more you suffer when life inevitably forces you to change. Reflection point. Ask yourself, what aspects of your life feel comfortable, yet stagnant? Growth begins when you dare to step into zones where you're no longer the master. The necessary chaos, how life breaks you to rebuild you. Jordan Peterson often refers to order and chaos, to forces that shape our existence. Order is where we are competent. Chaos is where we face the unknown. Growth happens when we willingly walk into chaos and wrestle with its uncertainty. Imagine a caterpillar dissolving into a soupy mess before becoming a butterfly. That's not poetic exaggeration. It's biological fact. Transformation requires disintegration. Humans are no different. Personal crises, heartbreaks, failures, these are not random acts of cruelty by life. They are the forge in which your character is tempered. They strip away illusions and force you to confront the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Peterson's message is clear. The chaos you fear is the very crucible of your growth. Practical exercise. Identify one area where life feels chaotic right now. Instead of retreating, approach it with curiosity. What is this chaos trying to teach you about yourself? Responsibility. The gateway to meaningful growth. One of Jordan Peterson's most powerful teachings is about responsibility. He often says, pick up the heaviest thing you can carry. Why? Because responsibility anchors you amidst life's chaos. It transforms pain into purpose in a culture obsessed with rights and freedoms. The idea of voluntarily embracing responsibility might seem counterintuitive, yet it is responsibility that gives your suffering meaning. It's the antidote to nihilism, depression, and the pervasive emptiness that many adults feel despite having everything. Want to feel stronger? Take responsibility for your physical health. Want deeper relationships? Take responsibility for your communication and presence. Want more success? Take responsibility for your daily habits and mindset. Growth without responsibility is like a ship without a rudder. You might float, but you'll never navigate. Actionable step. Write down one area where you've been avoiding responsibility. Choose one small daily action to reclaim ownership. The emotional toll? Why growth feels like grief. Here's a truth most personal development gurus won't tell you. Growth often feels like mourning. When you outgrow environments, friendships, or even parts of your personality, it creates a void. It feels like loss, and it hurts. Jordan Peterson's psychological insights highlight this emotional toll. Growth challenges your identity, forces you to admit that parts of who you were are no longer compatible with the person you're becoming. This inner conflict can manifest as anxiety, sadness, even a sense of existential loneliness. But here's where the beauty lies. That emptiness is not a punishment. It's space being carved out for something greater. You are not breaking. You are shedding. You are shedding versions of yourself that no longer serve your highest potential. Emotional self-awareness tip during periods of emotional discomfort. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What old part of me is this experience helping me release?" The long game. Growth is not a moment, but a lifetime commitment, a world addicted to quick fixes. The idea of lifelong growth feels overwhelming. But Jordan Peterson emphasizes that true transformation is not an event, it's a process. A journey measured not in weeks or months, but in decades. This is both humbling and liberating. This means you don't have to figure it all out today, but it also means you must remain vigilant. Complacency is the enemy. Growth requires constant recalibration, an ongoing dialogue with yourself about who you are and who you wish to become. Long-term strategy: set a 10-year personal vision. Then reverse engineer it into yearly, monthly, and daily actions. Remember, small, consistent steps build monumental transformations. Growth as an act of rebellion. Swimming against the current, there's a reason personal growth feels so lonely. It's countercultural. Society often encourages conformity, mediocrity, and passive consumption. Choosing to grow, to rise above, is an act of rebellion. When you choose to improve, you'll encounter resistance not just from within, but from people around you. Friends may feel threatened by your ambition. Family might question your choices. Society will subtly or overtly nudge you back towards the status quo. But as Peterson warns, the cost of fitting in is often the sacrifice of your soul. Growth is not for the faint-hearted. It requires the courage to stand alone, to be misunderstood, even ridiculed. But in this solitude, you forge an inner strength that is unshakable. Mindset reframe. View criticism or isolation not as setbacks, but as evidence that you're moving. Beyond the herd mentality, growth's hidden gift. Becoming a beacon for others, while the journey of growth is intensely personal. Its impact is communal. As you transform, you inevitably inspire and elevate those around you. Jordan Peterson often speaks about the ripple effect of personal responsibility. When you put your life in order, when you face your demons, you become a lighthouse for others lost in their own storms. Your growth gives others permission to believe that change is possible. But remember, you cannot save anyone who doesn't wish to be saved. Your responsibility is not to drag others up the mountain, but to climb so persistently that others feel compelled to follow. Life application. Focus on leading by quiet example. Let your actions, not your words, be the loudest testament to your growth. Embracing the painful beauty. How to stay committed when it hurts. So, how do you stay committed to growth when every fiber of your being wants to quit? Jordan Peterson offers a profound perspective. Life is suffering. You have to find meaning to make it bearable. When growth feels unbearable, reconnect with your why. Why did you start this journey? Who are you doing it for? Break the mountain into pebbles. Focus on just the next small step. Practice self-compassion. Growth is messy. You will stumble. Forgive yourself, but keep moving. Seek environments that challenge you, not comfort you. Surround yourself with people and situations that elevate your standards. The beauty lies in who you become at its core. The painful beauty of growth is about becoming fully alive. It's about refusing to live a half-hearted existence numbed by comfort and fear. It's about standing at the edge of chaos and daring to take that next step. Knowing it will hurt, but also knowing it's the only path to becoming your truest self. Jordan Peterson's message is not one of false hope or empty motivation. It's a call to voluntarily shoulder the burden of your own potential. To embrace the suffering that sculpts you into someone capable of bearing life's weight with grace and strength. And in doing so, you don't just transform your own life, you become a beacon of possibility for those silently watching, wondering if they too can rise. A personal invitation to you if this message resonates with you. If you're tired of surface-level advice and are ready to dive deep into the uncomfortable, yet liberating journey of growth, then this is your moment. At Awaken Mindset, we're building a community of individuals who are not afraid to confront the painful beauty of their own evolution. Every video, every message is crafted to challenge, inspire, and guide you through the chaos of life's transformations. If you found value in this, I invite you to subscribe to Awaken Mindset. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, begin your own next step in this journey, no matter how small. Remember, the path of growth is not crowded because it's hard. But those who walk it become unrecognizable to their former selves. And that is the most painful yet beautiful reward life can offer.